the HeelCast this week. Oh, it's great to be back. I was not on last week, but I'm on this week, and I'm joined by a special guest from the King of the Mountain podcast, Kyle. Kyle, how you doing?
Hey, I'm like Cody Rhodes, I just show up wherever I want. You got a podcast, you got a spot for me, I might show up.
That's the best type of contract, I swear. But anyways, we're here to talk TNA One Night Only Live from a couple of Fridays ago, and then we're also here to talk last week's Impact. So we got a big show. But first, I want to give out some shout-outs to Andre Corbeil. Follow him on Twitter. He's a very loyal listener. So I got to give that man some love. Also, got to give the King of the Mountain podcast some love, too. They are very good friendship with the HeelCast. And, Kyle, you're on there. So definitely check out the King of the Mountain podcast. You can see them on YouTube. You guys are also on SoundCloud and iTunes, I believe, correct?
Podbean. That's kind of like our mainstay. Podbean, kotmradio.podbean.com. Check us out.
Awesome. And then for our home base, definitely go to tnaasylum.net. That's where all of our content is, our reviews of Impact. This very show is on there, as well as all the other media outlets. You know the drill: YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, et cetera. So we're on pretty much anywhere, so check us out. But anyways, going into this week, we had some TNA news. So first I want to kind of bring it out. WWE is having this United Kingdom tournament, and one of former TNA talents was in there. Mark Andrews was in there because his contract kind of expired, and, we weren't really sure what the deal was. But he was on an interview earlier this week, and he was basically saying that, he was very grateful for his time in TNA, and he was thankful for all the men and women he got to work with, but he said it was time to move on. So, Kyle, what do you think of Mark Andrews not only leaving TNA, but apparently you also have some news about him as well, correct?
Well, I saw on Twitter tonight that somebody asked, I believe it was Meltzer, one of those top-tier wrestling journalists. I believe it was Meltzer. Somebody asked him, the winner of the UK tournament obviously gets a contract, but is that it? And he responded to him like, no, everybody involved. Everybody that wrestled in the tournament got a deal. So if that, has got any leverage to it, Mr. Mark Andrews, Mandrews, as that Josh Matthews says, Mandrews is officially a WWE signed talent. And if that is true, all the congratulations and best wishes and whatnot to Mandrews. Hell of a talent, had a lot of great matches over at TNA.
That's just a shame, too, because I think what happened with Mandrews is I just don't think he was happy with his placement with TNA because, he won British Boot Camp, too. He was signed for an X Division wrestler. If you watched it, Dixie Carter especially was saying how, they wanted an X Division guy. And he definitely fit the mold. And he had some really, really good matches in TNA, no doubt. But, they just never really seemed to do much with him. He never really got that big push. And then when he finally started doing something, he turned heel. He won the match over Aiden O'Shea, but that was it. Do you think, Kyle, that had a lot to do with him not re-signing with TNA?
Yeah, I don't know when he I don't know when his contract exactly expired. I wasn't sure on that, but he hasn't been doing much. He never really did much. I don't think he's ever held any titles or anything like that in the company. The highlight of his career, when I think, he was just second to Spud. That was when he was with Spud in the feud against DC3 and Tyrus and the head shavings. That was definitely a classic feud, one of my favorite feuds in TNA history. But even then, he didn't have one of the prominent spots. He was just kind of something on the side. He never really got a push in the company for whatever reason. he's a world-class high flyer, and his tenure at TNA was definitely at a time when the X Division was given the back seat, and hopefully with Anthem coming in and everything changing behind the scenes at TNA or Impact Wrestling, I am hearing rumors that we might not be calling it TNA in the future. We'll see, but hopefully in 2017 we can see our beloved X Division get what it deserves.
Amen, partner, on that one. Been waiting for a while. Hopefully it's coming.
Hopefully. We guys got to pray.
Oh, definitely. Pray now. But anyways, going on to some more news, we learned that this past TNA tapings, they taped about a week's worth of content. We learned that these shows were all booked by John Gaburik because if you remember, Anthem said they weren't going to make a ton of changes right away. So Gaburik, he booked all these shows on these tapings. So it was even reported that these storylines were kind of in the works even before Billy Corgan left. So I mean, why don't you give your take, Kyle, and then I'll give my take on this.
Well, what you're saying there, to me, it's kind of like, this was all Corgan and Lagana's stuff, and they both abruptly left. So it was up to them to finish out the stories and probably wrap up everything that they were working on and, start fresh and start something new. But they're not just going to drop it. They're going to, run everything out. And I have faith that the things that were good, that were meant to stay in place still, they'll keep there. Like, basically, Corgan and Lagana left the blueprint to them, and, they're going to carry it moving forward through the year. But obviously, they're going to put a lot of their own stuff in there. They're going to, change things up. I think we're going to see roster changes. I think we're going to see a lot of changes, but I don't think we're really going to see any of those changes till at least the March tapings. Well, even then, it might be the third tapings. After that, who knows? But I'd love to hear your take on it, Hurls.
Yeah, I think that Anthem came in there. They have to kind of get a lay of the land, so to speak. And, Jeff Jarrett and Dutch Mantell as well. They kind of have to see, what were they working on? We're not just going to, do a total reboot a la Hogan Bischoff. First night, they really kind of changed things. I think they want to do more of a slow, methodical approach to it, which I think is a very smart move because you just don't want to shock the viewer. And then you also don't want it to make it look like another reboot because TNA has had so many reboots over the years.
How many can you have?
Yeah, you're out of reboots at this point, right? So
why am I supposed to believe you this time? It's like when you got a slutty ex-girlfriend, she keeps cheating. Why should you believe her this time, But maybe everybody could change and things will be different.
Boy who cried wolf, same scenario. So exactly. I think TNA is doing the right thing here, or at least Anthem is, with they don't, they're going to let these storylines play out because it's just going to look more natural on TV. So I have no problem with letting what they had happen. So, kudos to Anthem. But I think come March with the next tapings, I think you're going to start to see some more of Jeff Jarrett and Dutch Mantell, their storylines start to kind of go through, so to speak. So that'll definitely be interesting.
I heard a rumor online that Jeff Jarrett wasn't going to be used as an on-screen talent at all. I don't know if there's any truth to that. I don't know. Did you hear anything?
Yes, I did hear about that. The reason given was because he's still doing the whole Global Force Wrestling, and he doesn't want to jeopardize his television contracts with that, I guess, even though, as far as I know, he doesn't have a television deal with Global Force.
You mean the Global Force Gold Pyramid Scheme?
Yeah, Kyle. Do you maybe you should inform the viewers on what that actually is, because I know on the HeelCast we have not talked about that yet, but I've been hearing stuff about it.
From what I heard, he set up something through his website, basically like a pyramid scheme type deal, but he's like, people can invest in gold. Dude, I really don't know. You put me on the spot there because I don't know the specifics of it. But in a nutshell, he's having, it's got to be a scheme, dude. He's got to be laundering money or something, It's got to be a sham. There's got to be something going on there. Global Force was a front for some illegal activity. That's all.
Yeah, that just screams desperate times. And, at this point,
got something
I honestly
to do with the
think
baseball
Jeff Jarrett.
companies. I think it's got something to do with the baseball companies because the whole point of the company, he was just traveling exclusively from ballpark to ballpark. I think there's some sort of illegal flow of money, moving through baseball companies and Jeff Jarrett and Double J. I'm cracking conspiracy theories here, man.
Oh, I could see it. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't put it past them. But as far as the career move goes for Jeff Jarrett, just come back to TNA full time. I mean, if you just want to be in creative, that's fine. But, I just don't see this. I mean, we've talked about the Global Force brand really not going anywhere. And we talked about Christina Von Eerie selling the women's title on eBay. So, when that happens, I think time, I understand why you did it at first, Jarrett, but now it's definitely more than ever. Just
wait,
back
hold on, dude. I didn't fucking hear this. You're telling me Christina Von Eerie sold the GFW title on eBay?
Yes, that was. You could talk to Brother _ for more information about that. But yes, the story is that she won the title back at those tapings in Vegas, and maybe she got a little frustrated. Things weren't going smoothly, so she sold the title on eBay.
Oh man, dude, I didn't even know that. Maybe Double J, he's full fucking laundering money. It's IRS Mike Rotundo. What's he doing? I just hit Jeff Jarrett over the head.
Oh man, yeah. The Global Force brand, like I said, it's not off to a good start if it ever will have a start. But we'll see what happens with that. But anyways, so that was the news with Gaburik. Got some other news here. Drew Galloway. There's been reports that his contract does come up in February, as well as the Hardys, by the way. So keep that in mind. But I kind of emphasize Drew Galloway more so because the report was he doesn't know he wants to re-sign with TNA. He does. But he also just got injured, and he's worried that he needs to make the most money now, kind of a la Gail Kim 2007, 2008 when she left TNA. So she went back to WWE to get more money, but she didn't really need it now because she's married to the chef, Robert Irvine, celebrity chef.
Not the other chef, Robert. Not the one from Queens.
No, not him. But
no, she's the main bitch in the TNA mafia.
Congratulations, chef. Yeah, no. But
Chef and Gail Kim, that's a new thing.
Right. Oh man, she was my crush for the longest time. But anyways, Drew Galloway, it's going to come down to the final hour, I think. Hopefully TNA ponies up some more money for the guy. What do you think about this, Kyle? Do you think it would be a huge loss for TNA to lose Drew Galloway?
You know what? It's tough. I mean, you got to look at it from his perspective. If he's got to make the most money, and you got to think wrestlers are very goal oriented. So he already won the world heavyweight title. He already he got to the finish line in TNA. Not that there's still more for him to do, but you got to think in his eyes he got that belt. If I were a betting man, I would bet that he's going to go into the ROH/New Japan, probably still work for Evolve, that direction. It frees up a spot on the roster, TNA hasn't really equal. We could argue that they haven't found that strong baby face just yet, But he definitely did a good job, but I don't think his run was as hot as it should have been. And I think there's a chance come February that we're not going to be seeing Drew Galloway in the company anymore.
Oh, that'd definitely be a shame because, we talked about a couple weeks ago that he's he's kind of the go-to guy now in TNA to deliver great match after great match.
And he's been hurt for a while. It's really, we've definitely been feeling his absence.
I think Anthem, you guys definitely got to pony it up here. I think he's worth it, and he's in the prime of his career too.
Yeah.
I think it would be a shame if they lost Drew Galloway. So I'm hoping they can keep him.
Make a power play.
That's right. And Drew's a guy that, he's always going to be in. If you need someone to go out there, give you a great match, get the fans behind it, he's your guy. And there's no question. I know you got Lashley, you got Eddie Edwards, you got so many other talents that you can do, but I think Drew Galloway is definitely needed on this roster.
I feel like he's got a lot of unfinished business in TNA. Like, I feel like he never got to he flourished in the ring. Obviously, he had great matches, but I feel like he never really got to get comfortable on the microphone. Like, I feel like he's got a lot of room for improvement there. I think he's got a lot of feuds. I want to see him shine, maybe even as a heel at some point. Show what he can do out there. I feel like he's got so much unfinished work in TNA, and it would really suck if he left. But I'm just getting this vibe that he's not going to be re-signing. I hope it's not like that, though. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, I mean, if he goes back to WWE, it's just like his last run in WWE ended so poorly with the three-man band. Yeah, they were good for comedy, but Drew has just proving he's still much more than comedy. I mean, he's way past that.
Perfect segue. While we're on this topic, talking about it, Mike Bennett and Maria's contracts are up. They expired with the new year. From what I read, they were getting booked. They were just getting paid for booking to work these tapings that just passed. And if you look on Mike Bennett's Instagram account, right the day before the tapings, he put up a picture of the Kingdom, and he wrote, "Might be time to get the band back together." Thinking emoji. So I feel like he's voiced some frustration on Twitter since the Corgan thing. Like, him and Corgan were buddies, something like that. I think he was really disappointed with Corgan leaving the company. But I think the Miracle would be a huge loss. I really think him and Drew, but Maria and Miracle, they're obviously a package deal. One comes, one goes. And it would be a big loss. Big loss.
Definitely. No, I agree with you. I also agree that there's probably going to be a lot of roster changes. I think Jeff Jarrett is going to be more influenced to bring, every booker's got their guy. They're
going to bring their buddies in. He's going to bring some buddies in. Everyone brings some buddies in.
Definitely. They always do. I mean, Hogan and Bischoff brought their buddies in. I mean, Galloway is Gaburik's big on Galloway. That's his guy. So Jeff Jarrett, he's going to bring in a lot of his guys too. So, so I definitely could see Mike and Maria leaving, and I'm going to touch on that a little later once we talk about the shows, because there may be something to it with the way the Miracle's been being booked lately. So you definitely, I'll bring that up later, basically. So, but that is definitely interesting to point out that they're kind of just getting the paid per appearance thing right now. So anyways, so we got the last two news bits I want to get to. We got a couple returns to the company. First, let's start with good old Don West, the brown bag guy himself. Don West is back. Kyle, are you pumped up for Don West?
Oh, come on, man. I already bought 5 brown bag specials within the past 24 hours, bro.
I got brown bags up to here in my checkout screen right now as we speak. Seriously.
I think he hypnotizes people. I think they're using old hypnosis tricks in the videos. I think he's there's some subliminal advertising in there. You can't help but just empty out your bank account at Shop TNA on these brown bag specials when you see Don West showing them.
No doubt, man. Don West can sell anything. He sells better than Dolph Ziggler. You know how they say Dolph Ziggler sells so well. I disagree. I think Don West sells way better than Dolph Ziggler. Okay, give it to this guy. Seriously, Don West, him being back he's part of TNA. He called so many great matches. I know he's not back in the booth yet, but he's back in the merch table, which he's going to get TNA a lot more sales than they had before. I guarantee that. That guy can just talk you into buying anything. But the deals that he's selling, the brown bag specials, are really good. The new brown bag.
The craziest deals in the world. You heard the guy.
Yeah. And you get, Kurt Angle sunglasses. You can get a T-shirt from any era of TNA. You get 5 DVDs. You get 2 TNA T-shirts. I mean, what's not to like about that? Seriously. But Don West being back is just awesome, and I'm totally for it. Kyle, I would guess that you're definitely for Don West being back.
Dude, I'm a big Don West fan. I always liked him on the commentary with Tenay in the classic years of TNA. I would like to see him back in the booth someday. You know, I don't know if you agree or disagree, but if he's still got it in him, they give him a little test, see how he does. I think he would be great. I think it would maybe bring back some old fans that might have tuned out of TNA over the years. Moved on with their lives. It might give them a reason to come back. Like, hey, remember Don West? And where is the Professor? You know what he's up to these days?
Last time I heard he was like doing some. I know he lives in Vegas.
Yeah, he lives in Vegas. That's like his thing. I heard that he does like a gambling podcast or something.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Hey, with Jeff Jarrett, you could already see, Don West is a Jarrett guy. So Mike Tenay, I could definitely see being brought back. So, hey, I wouldn't even mind if they put like Don West on some pay-per-views once in a while. Just give us his commentary, a little bit.
And with all that, I'm going to address the elephant in the room, or lack of a better term, the shark in the room. We got to bring back Shark Boy, man. I mean, Jeff Jarrett's coming back. Don West is coming back. Where the hell is Sharky?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Shark Boy is needed right now. There's tag teams that are needed. Why not D-Ray 3000? D-Ray 3000 and Shark Boy, one of the greatest TNA tag teams of all time. Seriously.
I don't know. I mean, would you put that over New Jack and Shark Boy?
Oh, well, that's a close one. That's a close one. I mean, anything with New Jack, you really have to take you can't go half-assed with any tag team with New Jack. You got to really look at that. But D-Ray 3000, though, that guy was amazing. Him and Shark Boy, amazing. Gold.
Reminiscing on the good old days here on the HeelCast, talking about the good old days of TNA right now.
Yeah, no doubt. So anyways, Don West back, at least at the merchandise table. We also had one more return, and I know it was on the Impact broadcast, but I feel like we should kind of talk about it here. Brooke Tessmacher back in TNA. Kyle, are you pumped for This Girl's Got a Booty?
Oh man, one of the greatest booties in the entire history of booties, man. She's got the ass. But besides that, I thought she was like really coming into her own in 2015. I thought she was getting really good. I was really enjoying her matches. So it's great to see her back. I know she left because she had a baby. She got pregnant. Wasn't sure if she was going to come back to wrestling or not. And when I heard that she did, it was such a surprise. I'm really glad to see her back. I think she's a great piece to the Knockouts puzzle. And yeah, I'm pumped. I'm more pumped than Scott Steiner, the needle up his ass.
Oh dang. Pumped Scott Steiner with a feud with Hulk Hogan even, right? Maybe not that much, but Brooke being back is awesome. I was hoping she would come back after having a child, because she like you said, she improved so much, and I think like we were just kind of starting to get going with her before she left, and I've just been a huge fan of Brooke. She improved so much in the ring over the years since signing with TNA back in 2010. And so she's just been great, and I can't wait to see what program she gets put in the Knockouts. And, her and Robbie E on The Amazing Race, that was great. They were great on there. And they actually got me hooked on that show, actually. I was not really a big fan of it until they were on there. So kudos to you, Brooke.
Yeah, when Robbie E was on King of the Mountain, he told us that he lost because of Brooke. Brooke was the reason, not him.
Oh, man.
Speaking of Brooke, Brooke's back. I want to know, when the hell is Taryn Terrell?
Well, I know she was at Bound for Glory, and she was pregnant then.
Yeah.
So maybe,
I
maybe.
forgot that.
Maybe, she's after she has the child. I'm not sure if it was born yet or not, but maybe afterwards she could pull a Brooke or an Angelina Love, or who knows, But glad to see Brooke back. I think we're all happy to see Brooke. I think
and her ass.
we can all.
And very glad.
Oh yeah, her ass definitely.
Her ass is back.
Definitely.
Welcome back, Brooke ass.
Oh man, so I'm going to assume she'll probably be coming in as a face. It kind of seems like it. So I think there's definitely needs to be more faces. So welcome back, Brooke. Welcome back. And as far as the news section, that's all we got for the news for this week. Kyle, is there anything you want to add to the news?
No, I think we covered it all. I think it's time to move on to the shows.
All right. So first show we're going to talk about is TNA One Night Only Live. This was not this past Friday, but the Friday before that. So the first match we had at TNA One Night Only Live, we had kind of the feud was set up the night before on Impact. We had Bobby Lashley versus Eddie Edwards, with Bobby Lashley making not Eddie Edwards, Davey Richards, excuse me. Bobby Lashley tapped out Davey Richards. What did you think of this match, Kyle?
Well, you know what? I love how you said the match was set up the night before on Impact, so I just want to say to all you motherfuckers out there who are always bitching and complaining, One Night Only doesn't mean nothing. One Night Only doesn't mean nothing. It meant something. There were storylines. There were titles on the line. It was live. You didn't order the show. You're a little bitch, and you should order it if you're a true fan of wrestling, that is.
But, I agree.
Yeah, I had to let that. I had to fire some shots right there. I had to get that off my chest because I'm sick of people shitting on the One Night Onlys. When you know it, Hurls, they're great shows, man. Me and you, we appreciate those shows. We know what they are.
Definitely, because there's a lot of matchups you're not going to see on Impact, and they get a lot more time. So you're going to see even better matches than you'd see on Impact. There's no commercial breaks. You're seeing everything happen.
No Schitt's Creek plugs. No Schitt's Creek plugs. There's a good promo between each match. Old school style. It's just the wrestler and the microphone. I love it, dude. It's like the hidden gem of Impact Wrestling.
No Schitt's Creek, no Wolf's Creek, no Nightcap, no
Jeremy Borash does commentary sometimes, not on all of them, but he does join the table a lot on the One Night Only shows. I mean, I could go on. Like I said, the hidden gems of Impact Wrestling.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, and me and Raven Effect were hyping this one up for the last month because we were telling you how good One Night Only 2016 Live was, because we were figuring 2017 was just going to be just as good.
Dude, I was there.
Oh, yeah, you probably were. That was Bethlehem. So,
Yep.
Yeah, you probably were. So, we were telling you guys. So, hopefully you ordered it. And if you didn't, well, you should order it because it's still there. It's still there. But this match, though, I thought this match was just awesome. Like, for Davey Richards' first match back, I thought this was just great. Both of the guys were going at it, and they got all their moves and then some. But it really, I mean, Davey had a great showing here. As of right now, this is definitely up there as my TNA match of the year so far. It had everything you want, and I mean, it made you could really see these two. For Davey being gone so long, they had great chemistry.
Oh man, you said it.
Yeah, so great match between these two. Definitely recommend it if you haven't seen it yet. But
Davey worked so hard, man.
Oh yeah, definitely to come back.
So glad to see him back in the mix.
So Bobby Lashley wins, but very strong showing. The next match, we had an X Division match. This was a 4-way elimination match. We had DJZ, we had Braxton Sutter, we had Andrew Everett, and we had Trevor Lee. This was for the TNA X Division title. Kyle, what did you think of this match, the four-way?
Great X Division action, it's exactly on paper, you know what you're getting. Just your good old-fashioned fucking X Division, super flippy-dippy stunt show filled with action all over the place. Great match, definitely. If that's your thing, you're into that style, this match is for you.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I thought it was a really good match. It kind of kept on par with the first match. We saw Andrew Everett was eliminated first. Then we had Braxton Sutter eliminated second. Then it came down to Trevor Lee and DJZ. I honestly thought Trevor Lee was going to win this match.
Yeah, me too.
But, yeah, I really did. But DJZ ends up retaining. But this match was another really good one, and I thought the crowd was really hot for not only the first match but this match. They were still hot. It was another really solid match. But DJZ retains the X Division title by beating Andrew Everett, Trevor Lee, and Braxton Sutter. I'd give this match probably a good 3.5. I give the first match about 4 stars if I was given in a star system.
Good call.
Yeah. All right, the third match we had Robbie E come out there, and he did an open challenge to any one of the DCC. The man to answer that one was Bram. Kyle, what did you think of this match?
It's interesting to see Robbie E, take on a different persona. He's not really dancing around like an idiot. He's got a bit of a different attitude. This is a different Robbie E. Calls out one of the members from the DCC, which I don't know why he would do that. That sounds like a stupid move. I sure as hell wouldn't call one of those guys out. Those are some of the baddest motherfuckers in wrestling right there. You get Bram. You know what you're going to get when you get a Bram in a match. I mean, his name speaks for itself. Bram. Monster. Pretty good match. It's cool to see a different side of Robbie E, like I said. How did you feel about this match?
Yeah, no, definitely. I thought the first thing I noticed was the theme music change for Robbie E, definitely going for a little more serious role. And that's kind of how I felt he was in 2015. I thought they were kind of giving him that. But, 2016.
Him and Jesse feuded. He jumped off the King of the Mountain box. He jumped off the something else, too. He did a few dives. They were kind of, turning him into a face and showing a different side of him. But that both of their gimmicks, Robbie and Jesse's gimmicks, they both kind of just flopped and diminished.
Oh, I honestly think Robbie E's best TNA match was Slammiversary 2015 against Jesse Goddard. That was a really good match.
That's a
definitely
check
it out.
That's an underrated match right there, listeners. You gotta get that one.
Very, very underrated. At least singles match, that was definitely his best. A very underrated match. Not a lot of people are going to be talking about it, but it was really good. But this match in particular, I love the fact that Bram was just hitting him with everything, and Robbie was still putting up a fight. And then Robbie hits the boom drop out of nowhere, and you're like, wow, is Robbie going to win this? But, I mean, it didn't come to be. Bram hits the darker side of suffering for the win. But this match was it wasn't bad. Like you said, I like Robbie E's new persona. It's definitely a nice change from what he had last year with the whole Grado stuff. So.
They're both great workers. You know what you're going to get when those two are out there.
Yeah, no, definitely. All right, so the fourth match we had, which is another I've been hearing a lot of popular opinion about this match, possibly being the TNA match of the year so far. Moose versus Mike Bennett, no holds barred. Kyle, what's your thoughts of this match?
To me, this one stole the show. This was my favorite match of the night. I just think Miracle and Moose have so much chemistry out there, and there's obviously a long story behind it. It's not a random match out of nowhere. This is, Mike Bennett brought Moose into the company. Then, Moose wasn't taking that shit. He wasn't trying to be anybody's henchman, And it's been going on for a while with these two, and they went out there and they killed it, dude. That was a great match. You need to check that out, listeners. If you haven't seen it, Get this pay-per-view just for this match, I'm telling you. And it's $14.99. It's literally a $14.99 pay-per-view, you know? That's pretty cheap.
Oh, yeah, compared to most, well, now with the network, it's a little cheaper for WWE.
You know, we can't say that anymore. Now everything's different. Now you just got to get a $10 streaming service. But damn it, if you love TNA, you're going to drop that $15. You're going to help support the company.
Well, yeah, and plus if you live in the UK or Ireland, you got definitely no excuse because you got the TNA app for $5.
You got the app,
whatever that is, $4.99 GP, pounds. You definitely have to get it if you're in UK or Ireland. That's so cheap. But this match was really good. Some of the stuff Moose was doing, like you just don't see guys his size do with the moonsaults.
Those moonsaults, dude! I didn't know he could do that. He's
man,
he's becoming my favorite wrestler. Like since he came in, I feel like since his time in Ring of Honor, I feel like he was still kind of green. And now, right now, I think he's getting better and better in front of our eyes, and he's really coming into his own. And Moose is really becoming one of my favorite wrestlers in all of professional wrestling, not just Impact.
This match, he's definitely deserving of that Grand Championship. I'm glad he has it. And these guys, they pulled out all the stops. The cutter through the table was so cool. And, the ending we saw Mike Bennett spear Maria. Or no, was it Moose that speared Maria? I can't remember. One of them, I thought it was Mike Bennett speared Maria, right?
I think Mike Bennett did, Reminds me of some Edge and Lita type stuff back in the day.
Yes, that distraction was able. And that was how Moose was able to win this match. But it was really good. The crowd, I thought the crowd was at its highest peak during this match. They were chanting, "This is awesome," and it was a really good match. It was actually an 18-minute match, so there was a lot going on in this match. But
they told the story out there. It was phenomenal, great match. This to me, this is my match of the night. This is the show stealer. I did hear a lot of people. They felt that the main event was the best match of the night, but I'm going with this one. This is my number one.
Yeah, this was probably my number 2 match of the night. Obviously, I liked the Davey Richards-Lashley match because I really just respected what they did. I thought it told a great story and just a really good match. But this was definitely my number 2 match of the night. But I would give this match another solid 4-star match for sure. Okay, the 5th match of the night we had Mahabali Shera versus Marshe Rockett. Kind of started off with Marshe Rockett coming out there and calling everybody a bunch of jive turkeys.
Jive turkeys. He let us know that creative gave him a catchphrase and it's not going anywhere. That he's established. I have a catchphrase now. It's jive turkeys. That's what it is.
Right. Kyle, what do you think of this match? And what do you think of Mahabali Shera? Kind of a little more serious tone. Kind of same with Robbie E.
Well, they got to do something with Shera if they're going to go to India. You don't want to just go to, because there's a lot of rumors that they're going to be going to India in the summer. So you don't want to just go in there and have him doing nothing on TV. So you got to build him up. We got to see a different Shera. I think they've slowly been trying to get to that. He's come a long way from the stuff with Grado. With this match right here, I think Marshe is a hell of a talent, dude. I think he's great out there. I don't know how I feel about all the jive turkey stuff, but in the ring, I think Marshe Rockett is like a killer talent.
I kind of give Marshe credit for trying something, trying to get him over as a heel, and I totally respect him. The guy, he's legit 6'4", looks about 6'4", 260. He's a big guy, but he was right toe-to-toe with Shera. But I think Shera getting the win and looking serious, it makes sense. With Dutch Mantel and Jeff Jarrett back there, let's not forget the little side project they had in India called Rinka King. And the last champion was Mahabali Shera. So I could see some big things for Shera. The main thing with me is I just want to see him improve in the ring. But I do like the fact that they're taking a little more serious role with him. But this match was definitely for Shera to get over. So Shera with the win, And, I mean, it was your standard match. I give it maybe two stars. It wasn't the greatest, but it served its purpose.
It was filler in place of the card, really.
Yeah, definitely. All right, the sixth match we had Gail Kim kind of come out first, and she basically just kind of told the crowd that she's not retiring, which I kind of figured, most people figured she wasn't going to retire. But she I believe, just had back surgery, if I'm not mistaken. So she's probably going to be out for a while. But it was nice to see Gail kind of set the record straight because, last year she kind of hinted at it, but she definitely said she's not retiring. So
I love Gail Kim. Yeah. She's done so much for the company, Hurls, but personally, as a fan, I think it would be in TNA's best interest if she were to retire, because her in the company, when she's there, I feel like she's always getting booked the strongest. She's almost like their John Cena, except the female version. I just feel like with her there, you don't get to see Jade on TV as much. You don't get to see Sienna on TV as much. Like I feel like it's just natural evolution for her to move on. But she's got a lot of value. She's a big name for Impact. So I'm kind of like indecisive about it. What's your take on it?
Yeah, I'm a huge Gail Kim fan. She's always, oh man, she's probably my favorite female wrestler of all time, over any other female wrestler.
Without a doubt.
So I wouldn't want her to retire. Me personally, I think what would be really cool is if they brought back the TNA Knockout Tag Team titles. Like, I feel like she could do a lot of good things with that right now, and she could help maybe some of the younger talents get over even. So I have no problem with her sticking around. I mean, she's still in really good shape. I think she's 38. And most female wrestlers, they don't last too much longer after 40. So, I have no quarrels if she comes back and even gets another knockout. I'm just a huge Gail fan, but could I?
I think they need a second show. This problem I'm always having, I think it all boils down to I think they need a second show. I think one Impact a week isn't enough to showcase their whole roster.
Oh, I definitely agree with you there. I would love a second show, even an hour show. Heck, you could put it Saturday night, like the old WWF Saturday Night Shotgun. I'd be fine with that. Just give us something else, and then, or make Explosion.
There's too many talents that get cast to the side. I think that's the problem they have.
Definitely. So, I'm definitely in agreement with you. But the match we did end up having was it was also set on final total nonstop deletion when Sienna beat ODB. Sienna was the number one contender. So she finally got her shot against Rosemary. I thought this match was really good for knockouts. I thought it was really hard hitting. Rosemary, I mean, she's definitely, she's got almost, Sienna overpowers a lot of knockouts, but she definitely did not overpower Rosemary. Rosemary ends up retaining the title. The miss kind of comes into play, but she does hit her with the Red Wedding. But I really like this match. What do you think, Kyle?
Oh, I'm with you 100%. This is a great match.
Oh, man. Yeah, just really physical, a nice brawl type style match. I thought it was really good. So I give this match a solid 3.5 if I'm giving a star system. I enjoyed it. But Rosemary gets the win. She's still Knockouts champion. All right, the seventh match that we had was James Storm versus Jesse Goddard. Correct me if I'm wrong, Kyle, but was there really any setup to this match, or was it kind of just kind of there? Kyle. All right, looks like we lost Kyle. I know he'll be back on. He's just having some connection issues. But, James Storm versus Jesse Goddard, I thought this match was really good. It told a really good story of Jesse Goddard's trying to overcome the odds with the number system. I mean, DCC's got 3. He's going by himself. So obviously it was he just didn't have it. But James Storm ends up getting the win. I thought it was a much-needed win for James Storm because I really hope that James Storm is a potential title holder in 2017. I think now is the time to do it, especially with DCC. So I'm hoping they go that route. But James Storm gets a nice win over Jesse Goddard. So good win. I thought the match was, solid 2.5. Jesse Goddard is, he has a lot to show. So I really dug it. So the 8th match that we had was Broken Hardys versus Eli Drake and a mystery opponent. Well, Eli Drake hired the services of the Fixer, Tyrus. So that was
Greg Gutfeld, star Tyrus.
Yes. Oh, Kyle, you're back.
I got dropped there. Yeah, the phone company decided, I guess I should go fuck myself. Got dropped, but I'm back. Sorry about that.
Well, welcome back. Kyle, what do you think of this TNA Tag Team title match with the Broken Hardys versus Eli Drake and Tyrus?
I want to know, how do you feel about, I'm going to turn this around on you, how do you feel about Eli Drake and Tyrus together? You think they got, something going together like that?
I really don't. I think it's a short term because, they've had some interactions in the past. I know they had some interactions before Bound for Glory, but I don't think it's a long term.
Well, they're holding people hostage backstage, beating the shit out of camera guys and, having them, convey messages to the camera. So it's like, I don't know. I think that, they might be hanging out. We might see more of this. They might be destroying the place.
Oh, that's definitely true. I mean, that did happen on Impact, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But I see what you mean. I mean, it made sense. Tyrus is there for the taking if anybody wants to, use him. I mean, why not? Why wouldn't you want to use a 400-pounder, I mean, the guy, he's a huge guy. But the Broken Hardys were able to retain the titles in this match. I didn't think this match was, great, but, it served its purpose. It was set up on Impact, too, with the talk show segment, Let Me Talk to You. So this match definitely did have some build-up going into it. But Broken Hardys retained. Kyle, did you like the match?
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the Broken Hardys. Love Eli Drake. He's probably one of my favorite wrestlers. I like Tyrus. I'm a Tyrus fan. Wasn't the best, in ring. It didn't stand out. It wasn't great, but what it was, it was a good, good way to, end the show.
Yeah, definitely. But, we have one more match. One more match we had for one night only.
I totally botched right there. I'm wrong. I totally forgot. That was right there.
You're gonna make Botchamania 300.
Making the Botchamania,
whatever it is now.
Whatever they're up to, 5,000.
Right.
Like that.
Right.
Just keep making them.
As long as you got Iron Sheik going, fuck.
Yeah,
you're good.
That's
you're
all
good.
we need.
We coming for you, Jeff Harvey.
Yeah, classic. Love Botchamania.
Oh, good stuff. But anyways, we had the main event. We had Eddie Edwards defend his title against EC3. Eddie Edwards wins, but there was definitely some shenanigans that happened, and I thought this was brilliant the way they set this up. But Bobby Lashley comes down there, and he's got the front, the great view at ringside. But Davey Richards also comes down there because Lashley kind of starts getting involved. And what ends up happening is Davey Richards was going to hit Lashley, but he accidentally hits EC3. So Eddie Edwards hits EC3 with the Boston Knee Party. Eddie Edwards retains, but it looks like Davey Richards obviously is not very happy with what he did. But Eddie Edwards kind of doesn't really realize what went down. So I thought this match was really good. EC3 and Eddie Edwards had great chemistry in the ring together. I was happy that Eddie Edwards retained. I know on this very show a lot of people want EC3 to win the title, but I liked how this was booked. I love the whole dynamic with the Wolves. And there's obviously some tensions kind of brewing with them, but I thought this match was really good. I'm going to give it another 4-star. Kyle, what do you think of the main event of TNA One Night Only Live?
Yes, there was a main event. I totally forgot about it real quick there. So that was a mistake. Blame it on the reefer. It's definitely, you know what? You're right on Eddie Edwards retaining, because I don't think it would have been the right time for EC3. I think EC3 definitely has another belt coming, but I don't think this was the right time to pull the trigger. I feel like they still have a story to tell. Like, I think EC3, he keeps having these matches where he's losing, he keeps choking, and I think he's going to snap, you know what I mean? I think we're going to see a breaking point in EC3. There's definitely also something brewing between Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards. I don't know how I feel about it. Like, I think the Wolves are just such an established tag team, and they don't have a lot of tag teams right now, if any. They're really dry when it comes to the tag team division, so I don't know if it's a good call to break up one of your besides the Hardys, your second most established tag team. I don't know if that's a good road to go down, but I know that Davey and Eddie would have great matches together. I know they'd have a great feud, so I'm kind of in between on it. If they go that way, I'm not going to be mad about it. I'm pretty open-minded to it. How do you feel, Hurls?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I didn't really watch a lot of Ring of Honor. Like, I watch it very sparsely, so I didn't really see their feud in Ring of Honor much. I have seen them wrestle each other on TNA. They've wrestled each other in a couple one-night-only lives. They also wrestle, I believe, they may have wrestled against each other in the World Title Series, too. I don't even want to think about the World Title Series.
Yeah, I saw them wrestle each other live, actually, at an Impact taping, but there was really no story behind it. It was, a handshake, friendly competition type match.
Yes, that was. I believe that was in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania as well. I do remember that one. But yes, that was a very good match back then. But it really didn't have a lot of storyline behind it. So it'd be interesting to see if they do go that route. There probably will be at least some storyline that goes along with it. So I think that'll add to the match. So that could definitely be a good thing. But do I want to see them break up and be enemies? Nah, not really, because I think they're just great as a tag team, but I also don't mind.
It's too hokey to just split up a tag team just to split them up, I feel like TNA, that's one of their flaws. It's like they have a history of that. Like, they love breaking up tag teams.
Right. Well, I think that's any promotion nowadays. I mean, maybe not
pro
Ring of Honor
in general.
much, but
pro wrestling in general.
Right. I mean, back in the 80s and 90s, tag teams would just stay together for 10-plus years. What would it be like if, the Road Warriors broke up, It never really happened.
We saw one fall off the stage being drunk, though. Good old Vinny Roof.
That is true. That is true.
Bro, you're an alcoholic, so you're going to be treated like an alcoholic, bro.
Oh, man. We got to do a wrestling nostalgia podcast. I think we'd have a lot of fun with that, but maybe sometime in the future. But, oh, man. I did like the storyline and the whole dynamic with the four, though. I thought it was a cool way for the show to end, and I thought the match was really good. So what did you think of TNA One Night Only Live 2017?
Great show.
Overall.
Great show. Maybe I'm biased because I'm such a TNA fan, but overall, great show. I recommend it to anybody.
Definitely. Like, if you're going to order a one-night-only pay-per-view, or if you don't, but you want to order maybe one or two, definitely this is one of them that you want to get for sure.
This and last year's one-night-only live in January. Both of them are just great shows. Yes.
You had so many great matches. So many great matches on this one particularly. There was at least 5 or 6 that I really enjoyed. So definitely get this pay-per-view. If you want to wait for the DVD to come out because you have it forever, that's fine too. But definitely get this show because it was really good. So anyways, we did have an Impact this past Thursday. So why don't we start talking about that? The show kind of starts off with EC3 kind of coming out there and just saying he's got to air his grievances with Davey Richards, but Bobby Lashley kind of comes out there, and they kind of set the match up themselves. They kind of set it up with that they're going to have a last man standing, and whoever wins is going to be number one contender. So we get that last man standing match with Bobby Lashley versus EC3, and it comes out that Bobby Lashley wins by going through the two tables. What did you think of this match, Kyle?
I loved it, man. I mean, why not kick the show off with the main event? Why not? You got to get that once in a while. Personally, I've always been a big fan of the last man standing gimmick matches. Always thought those were cool. The 10 count. I was just always a fan of it. I think they, tell a cool story in those. But I loved this match, man. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I did too. I thought it was the match of the night. No disrespect to the other matches, but this match was really good. The spots that they did, awesome. I mean, EC3, there's a reason why he's losing. I think it's going to set up for something even better for him down the line. So I had no problems with Lashley winning. But, I mean, I think EC3, who knows what's going to happen to him after this, but, Lashley's going to get his shot now against Eddie Edwards. And those matches I never get sick of because they just put on classic after classic. So I'm looking for another bout between them. But I think EC3 will be fine. I don't think it's really going to do too much damage to him. I mean, it was just such a hard-hitting match, and the way they ended it, I thought was really cool. I think it was almost like a sleeper hole through the two tables, if I remember correctly. But
yeah,
really
I wasn't sure if he was trying to hit a 1%er, and then I don't think it was that. It was kind of like a sleep. Whatever it was nuts.
Yeah, definitely. So then we had that segment you were talking about earlier with Tyrus and Eli Drake, and they had the guy, the backstage guy, kind of read off saying that the fans cannot say dummy, and then and all his statements will be made without a microphone. And then Drake announces that he's in the race for the case, which is going to be next week, by the way. So we'll talk about that a little more after we review Impact. But so what do you think of this pairing with Tyrus and Eli Drake? Do you like it?
I think they could, kind of try to recapture that vibe that Tyrus and EC3 had together. I think it's too early to really judge it, so I'm going to let this one play out for it's too soon for me to feel any way about it. I really don't know where they're going.
All right, and then we kind of had a little teaser with the rings with Aaron Rex's new gimmick, but then he kind of comes out there and very, very flamboyantly, he's got the white fur coat. I don't even know, skin-colored tights to almost kind of make it seem like he's not wearing tights, and then he's got the pink knee pads. What did you think? First off, what do you think of Aaron Rex's new gimmick?
I love it, dude. I think it's great. I think it's definitely edgy. It's definitely edgy. Definitely pushing the envelope there. I like the fact that it kind of plays off the crowd's own personal homophobia almost. People are naturally gonna boo him because you just look at him. Spud with the little blue suit, that Mr. Slave hat, South Park.
Oh, it kind of reminded me of the old milkman from the 40s and 50s outfit, but a little more flamboyant. I loved it.
A little
Aaron Rex. Oh, Aaron Rex with the cheesy smiles. I thought that was great, and his explanation was pretty cool. Like, you want me to be a character, so I'm going to be a character, and
he's
I
doing
thought,
the Liberace gimmick. That's what he's doing.
Essentially, yes, and I loved it. I can't wait to see more of this. I think this has got a lot of potential. Like, I think it's going to take a while.
It's going to be
gold.
Like this is going to be gold. It's going to be gold.
It's going to be. It's going to be.
I
think it was
somewhere that this is the gimmick he pitched at the end of his WWE run, and they didn't pick it up. They went nowhere with it, and I guess that led to him bringing it to TNA.
Wow, that's not the first time we've heard that story. I remember Orlando Jordan's TNA gimmick was actually something he pitched to WWE, and they never took
similar,
off.
Wasn't it?
It was.
Gimmick.
He was like the bisexual gimmick. He had the bisexual.
You're bringing back some weird memories I haven't thought of in years.
Oh, are you thinking of Lotion right now?
Oh man, where is Orlando Jordan? I haven't heard of that guy in years.
I have no idea. No idea. Oh man. But so Aaron Rex, they had to do something with him. They had to change him up because he had a really strong promo coming to TNA, but he really never took off after that. I know he had the Grand Championship title run, but he needed something to really stand out. And I think this is finally going to give him some, it's going to give him his own mark because he's never done this gimmick before. So I think this is only going to help him. And then it looks like he's going to be feuding with Robbie E for the time being because Robbie E came out and challenged him. So, but unfortunately he got punched with the fistful of rings.
Fistful of bling.
I like it. I don't know if he's using that term, but he should if he doesn't.
He should. He's definitely got a lot of fashion, a lot of style going on there.
Oh yes. Oh, definitely. Then we have
makeup. I'm pretty sure he's got makeup on his face.
Oh yeah. Lip gloss.
Some eyeshadow.
Yes. Oh, definitely. But also too, I actually forgot to ask you, what do you think about this for Rockstar Spud? Like, we just saw him last week lose the horn or to Swoggle. He said he was quitting, but now we see him with Aaron Rex. Like, where do you like that?
I think it's kind of weird how he said he was quitting and then he just showed up, in a different role. I don't know. I feel like there would have been better ways to place him in the role, but something funny that I thought of that just kind of coincided with this gimmick. Do you remember a few months ago when, like, randomly on the microphone a few times, Spud said, "I don't like girls"?
He's been saying that for, like, the last two years, like, randomly.
Yeah. He just randomly blurts that out, and for some reason, with this gimmick, it's kind of like, maybe he was telling the truth.
Yeah, no, definitely. He did that at one of the knockdowns, one of the very first ones. I don't know if it was the first one or not, but I remember he said that. But then he had a little love interest with Marty Bell on that show. So, but yes, he does say that from time to time. He does not like girls. But let's be real though. Doesn't Rockstar Spud just like hit these roles out of the park though? Because like that's what made him great to start off with when he was kind of the mouthpiece of Dixieland. I thought he was great in that role.
So many things. You know what I really loved that was so short-lived, and I think it was just such an injustice that it only was for a few weeks. When they had the whole Hardy family together, when Tyrus was the babysitter and Spud was there, did you catch, like, Spud, like, pretending to be a cokehead the way he was, like, sniffling and rubbing his nose, like, throughout the shows?
Oh, yes. Yeah,
like little things like that. Like the guy's just so entertaining.
I'm really looking forward to more of these two together. I don't know. It's just something about it. I think it's got a lot
gold.
of potential.
This is gold. This is going to be a great gimmick.
Yeah. So this could be. I don't know if I want to go this far yet, but this could be like the gimmick that just takes. It kind of like what the broken stuff did to the Hardys. This could be get a lot of great stuff out of this for TNA in 2017. So definitely looking forward to it. Backstage, we had a promo with kind of DCC just kind of saying 2017 is going to be their year. I thought we had a great promo by Kingston. I thought he did a really good job. He was basically saying companies were so afraid to take a chance on me. So, this was kind of his, this is why he's with the DCC, because they like guys like him, and finally we got a little history lesson with Bram kind of, calling out the DK for what they did to him last year, because we never really got that. But what did you think of this promo with the DCC?
It reminds me of the Shield, the delivery of it.
Mm-hmm.
But Eddie Kingston, man, he's a phenomenal worker on the microphone. I've been a fan of his on the independent circuit for years. Like, I've definitely been following him for quite a number of years now, and his strongest thing is his promos, man. I'm excited to see what he does with DCC and Impact Wrestling moving on. And this is like his first promo, backstage style promo. He's really famous for those, all of his stuff on the independents. So definitely, if you're unfamiliar with the listeners, type in Eddie Kingston promo on YouTube, and I'm sure a ton of them will pop up. But yeah, dude, I always love these style of backstage, just the wrestler face to face with the camera. I don't think we see enough of those. Yeah, this was awesome.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm looking forward to see what TNA does with the DCC in 2017, because I think they have a lot of potential. And like I was saying when we were doing our one night only recap, I want to see James Storm get the heavyweight title sometime this year, because he deserves it. I mean, he's been with TNA for so long, he's put on so many great matches. He's got to get it, and this is the time to do it with the DCC. I don't know. I want to see it. But we had a match with the DK versus DCC. It was Kingston and Bram versus Abyss and Crazy Steve. Kind of ended in a no contest with a bunch of outside interference. Storm got involved. Rosemary got involved.
Some of the shenanigans.
Yeah, a lot of shenanigans going on. What do you think of this feud? Do you see DK going face, or do you think it's still kind of just heel versus heel type feud?
You know what? I think that they're both kind of tweeners, it's hard to really because yeah, they might be heels, but the fans love DK and the fans love DCC. So to me, they're kind of anti-hero type heels. You know what I mean? I don't think either of those guys really get boos in the arena,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. I mean, people these are some of the big showcase wrestlers for TNA, and they got some of the best gimmicks in TNA. I mean, so I totally hear what you're saying. I don't know. It just kind of seems like they've been kind of trying to, turn DK to be the people that you're going to cheer for in this feud, but I don't know. I think it's going to be a good feud. I think there's a lot of good stuff that can come of it.
A lot of potential, a whole lot of potential.
Yeah, definitely. And I kind of like how they tie, Bram getting kidnapped. And that's a great way you could do this feud, because TNA kind of, it kind of seemed like they forgot about it, but I like the fact that they're kind of using that as a little base for this feud. It kind of makes sense, at least. So I like that aspect of it. And
I hope that Bram didn't get the treatment that truck driver got. That's one of the darkest moments of professional wrestling history right there. Wrestling's first sodomy.
Didn't his brother underscore get a little bit of that too? Maybe. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll have to ask him. I don't know. He had a traumatic experience with that too. So I don't think he ever wants to bring the DK back on the HeelCast again. I don't know, but I feel for you guys. Truck driver. Oh, that damn truck driver. Delete.
Yeah, I love how he just pops back up. Every sort of special they do, he comes up somehow.
Oh, that is good.
When he came back during the Great War match, that was great. When he was like, "Oh, you sodomized me." I'm a broken hearted now.
Yes, that was amazing, actually. Great match, by the way. But anyways, we also get the promo with Brooke Tessmacher coming back. We kind of talked about it during the news segment, but I guess where do you see TNA using Brooke? Do you think she's going to be thrown into the title picture right away, or do you kind of think she's going to get a little smaller feud to start off with?
I don't know. I mean, either way would work for me personally.
Yeah, definitely. Kind of start small and then, work her up to the title. But I mean, I would love. I mean, there's so many new knockouts you can work with. I mean, you got Sienna, you got Rosemary, you got Laurel Von Ness. I mean, just a ton that she can work with. So there's definitely a lot of opportunity. But I'm definitely, glad to see Brooke back. So the next match was kind of set up with Maria and Allie, and it was kind of saying that, Maria's going to send the Miracle to punish Braxton because it'll hurt Allie. So we had Braxton Sutter versus Mike Bennett. Now, these two have had a lot of matches in the past. They had a lot in 2016. You were there present at one of the matches when he was known as Pepper Parks.
Yeah.
But we had an upset, though, because some outside shenanigans with Allie kind of walking down the ring, kind of, give Braxton a little opportunity. So Braxton gets the roll-up on Mike Bennett. Braxton gets the win. What do you think of this?
Like you said, your little shenanigan-filled ending, kind of like just opens the door for another match with a, more straight ending. So I'm sure we'll see them again.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that Braxton won, but I think he kind of needed to win this to get this storyline to go a little, further. I mean, it sucks though. I mean, because like you were saying with Murray and Mike Bennett, if they are working without a contract, I mean, Mike Bennett is 0-3 in 2017. So, at least that's been televised. I haven't read the spoilers, but he's 0-3 as of right now. So, it kind of gives a little more, credence to that fact that he could be leaving. So, and obviously when a guy leaves, you kind of I don't want to say job him out, but he's not going to be going over guys, So, but at the same rate, I mean, Braxton needed this win, and but it was a good match. It was a good match. I just, it made sense for storyline purposes. So, then after that, we had Rosemary and Jade in a promo. Jade comes out there, kind of reinserts herself in the main picture. We really hadn't seen a lot of Jade lately. But these two are going to have a Monsters Ball next week. What did you think of this promo, and are you looking forward to the match?
You demon bitch. Oh man, the Monsters Ball match is going to be crazy. The two of the best female professional wrestlers in the world are going to go out there in a hardcore match. Are you kidding? Like, tell me, I'm tuning into that one.
Oh, Jade is probably my favorite newer TNA knockout. I know she's been there now. This will be going on her third year in TNA, but their cage match was so good that I can't wait to see what they got planned for Monsters Ball. I mean, Rosemary, she came on the scene last year from the start and just tore it up. And now you got Jade, who's such a great wrestler. These two are just going to have a great match, and I can't wait. I can't wait for it. It's going to be an awesome match. And the promo was very good from both. A lot of heat with these two, as there should be. So very looking forward to that. Impact's going to be really good this upcoming week. I'm looking forward to it. So then we had the main event. Eddie Edwards kind of making up to Davey Richards after he lost his one night only match. Basically, Eddie's saying that, hey, I got us a tag team title shot. We're back. Eddie's just trying to please Davey. He's trying to make him seem like Davey's just not a sidekick, like Davey thought he was. So we had the Broken Hardys versus the Wolves for the TNA tag team titles. There was some stuff that happened, a little controversy. Hardys retained, and Eddie Edwards, Davey was calling for Eddie to come back in, but he never did. And Davey got rolled up. Hardys retained. Davey was very, very pissed off. What did you think of the main event?
It was a good match, but clearly the emphasis here is there's problems among the Wolf Brotherhood, and his troubles are brewing in the Wolves Nation. I keep your eye on Davey Richards. So all I'm going to say, he's got that look in his eyes, man. We've seen this before in professional wrestling, and I think there's going to be a split immediately.
Yeah, it's definitely looking like that way.
Coming.
We've seen the storyline, and we've had now 3 events where you've seen some dissension in this. So, he was calling for Eddie to come back in there, and he's going to use that angle. And I don't know when it's going to happen, but yeah, I could definitely see this happening pretty soon. But I do like the storyline, the continuous, even though we've seen it a million times in wrestling. But it's good to keep it. And Broken Hardys, still your TNA Tag Team Champions. They're still going strong. But like you said, they're kind of cooling off a little bit, so to speak. So hopefully we can get them going with a feud or maybe some Hardy Compound stuff, some new stuff to kind of keep them going fresh.
I want to see a Broken Hardys Wendy's commercial. That's what I want to see.
Oh, yes. We didn't even bring that up in our news segment, but Wendy's might be the new Twitter to go check out. Apparently Wendy's is a big fan of wrestling and big fan of Broken Matt Hardy.
Yeah, I just want to say that, everybody's, all these wrestlers are tweeting Wendy's to get their little jerk off there, get their shameless plug. But I just want to point out that the tweet that started all of this was the Broken Brilliance tweet. So give credit where it's due to Matt Hardy and his Broken Universe, and it's just reign of terror on professional wrestling.
Oh, yeah, definitely. In our award show, I pretty much gave a lot of the awards to Broken Matt Hardy just for how much pop he gave TNA for 2016. He was just a shining light. He put a lot of eyeballs on the product, and I was telling a story that even the WWE guys were watching the Final Deletion in their Tokyo tour with Chris Jericho said it. So, major props to Matt Hardy. But, so, Kyle, what do you think of Impact as a whole?
Good show. One of those shows where I'd say that it's not so. Well, I did get something out of it. Obviously, the first match to me was just such a great match, that last man standing match. But this is one of those shows that feels like it's like a great build up to the next show. And there's a lot of stuff I'm looking forward to this. Looking forward in this next show. You know what I mean? This is one of those shows that left me off on a bunch of cliffhangers, and I can't wait to tune into this week's episode. I really can't wait to see that Monsters Ball match. I'm so hyped.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's kind of how I felt. I feel like we got a lot in this episode, even though we still got a lot of questions, left unanswered. But we got a returning Brooke Tessmacher. In the interview segment, she's back. That was really cool. And we got a new gimmick for Aaron Rex, which looks very promising. And we got the Wolf stuff. We got a lot of feuds starting, and A lot of things starting to happen. So it is really cool to see. I thought Impact was pretty solid. I'm going to give it a B, solid B. Wasn't the best show you're ever going to see, but it definitely had a little bit of everything. Had a lot of great wrestling matches in it and had some good storylines. So I thought Impact was really good. Anyways, going to next week, we already, like we said, we got the Monsters Ball with Jade and Rosemary. I guarantee that's going to be good. We also have what used to be called the Feast or Fired match. It's going to be called Race for the Case now. It looks like I kind of like
the rules. I think they're tweaking the rules a little bit on this one. I'm not sure though. And they mentioned open fight night in the promo too.
Oh yes. This is a little different. It's a little different. You cannot carry the case as long as you want now. Correct? It's only going to be for the following week. I think you have to call out the champion, right? You get to call out the champion of the case.
Not too positive on it. Well, I guess we'll find out on Thursday.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see a little bit more. They didn't really explain it. We just know that it looks a lot like Feast or Fired, kind of the same concept. And I would imagine this was a way for them to not have to fire someone every year. So they kind of get out of that, which is nice. And also you're probably going to get the Grand Championship, X Division, Tag Team, and World Heavyweight in the Race for the Case. So it'll be interesting to see who gets the cases, but it won't be a long, dramatic, cash-in or like it has been in years past. Do you like the format change there?
Yeah, it's refreshing. It's totally refreshing. It's, if there's, you know what you're going to get, and usually, but now, they totally switched it up, and it's not going to be the same thing it's been for the past 2 years in a row. So I'm with that, very refreshing. We needed that.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, they get rid of the fired aspect of it, which I think kind of put them in a hole a lot of times. I mean,
how many angles can you get out of that? And and you can't always fire people. Apparently, there's this classic story that Chavo actually did get released. And how many times? And then someone gets a suitcase and they're gonna cash in. It gets repetitive. It's definitely good that they refresh things this year for us.
Right. Yeah, like the Chavo one, he did get fired, but maybe last year, we had the whole Grado, Eli Drake, conspiracy type thing.
I love that, but we can't get that every year.
That was good. We had all the backstage camera stuff with that. That was good. And then we also had, Christopher Daniels got fired that one year, and he turned into Curry Man. So, this kind of helps. You kind of get out of that whole sort of thing. So I'm happy for that. But Impact should be really good this week. Definitely looking forward to it. Also, before we go, I just wanted to say that I kind of forgot to announce it in the news, but Kurt Angle is going into the WWE Hall of Fame. So I think that's kind of big news, especially since we didn't really know what was going to happen with Kurt Angle. I don't know if he's going to get another match in WWE, but I think if he never came back to TNA, I'm pretty satisfied with what he did in TNA. He did a lot of great stuff. So congratulations, Kurt, on getting in the WWE Hall of Fame. Kyle, I don't know if you want to add to that.
No, there's really nothing left to be said. You really put it out there. Kurt Angle, hell of a talent. Great to hear that he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. You knew it was coming. He's one of the best WWE superstars and TNA superstars of all time. And did we cover Jimmy Snuka?
Oh, no, I don't think we did.
I feel like that's some notable news. Jimmy Snuka has passed away. R.I.P. Jimmy Snuka. Maybe more so R.I.P. to the wrestler Jimmy Snuka, and not the human being, not the person. But you said off the air, you told me that he made an appearance in TNA. Tell the listeners you made an appearance.
Yep. Yes. Jimmy Snuka made a few, I believe, but definitely one that I remember was Victory Road 04, TNA's first ever pay-per-view, Sunday 3-hour pay-per-view they've ever did. Yeah, they want to say because they lived off pay-per-view on those Wednesdays. But, Jimmy Snuka was on TNA a few times. So he did make appearances. Basically, his segment was just with Roddy Piper, kind of redoing the whole Piper's Pit thing. But I believe some other wrestlers may have been involved into that. But R.I.P. to Jimmy Snuka. I know a lot of, I mean,
a lot of
people make,
we
a
can't,
lot of
we can't
controversy
sugarcoat
with that.
it. We can't sugarcoat it.
Right. He was never found guilty, but he kind of like OJ, he probably did it. So,
probably did.
Yeah. So that's a lot, pretty tainted there, but definitely got to, congratulate him on all the stuff he did as a wrestler. He was very innovative with his high-flying moves. I mean, how many wrestlers, there probably wouldn't be a lot of wrestlers that do that style today if it wasn't for Jimmy Snuka. So,
there wouldn't be a Mick Foley without Jimmy Snuka. That's always Mick's, biggest influence that he always, cites. See him jumping off the roof as a teenager and shit.
Right. No, definitely. I mean, how many of the cruiserweights we get today, where would they be if it wasn't for Jimmy Snuka? So,
he definitely left his impact. Pun intended.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I mean, but as far as like the off the camera stuff, I mean, I don't know. There's not much to say about it, but
he's
dead.
We'll
never know.
We're not going to harp on it. It's
right.
Gets buried.
It is what it is. Yep. So that's pretty much it. But Kyle, is there any final comments that you want to say before we end the HeelCast for this week?
No.
Kyle, are you there? Well, kind of looks like Kyle, something happened to him. Maybe got disconnected again. But anyways, I'll just say that check out the King of the Mountain podcast. That's you'll see Kyle there every week. He's on there every week. Me and Kyle hope to be reviewing more of the one night onlys since he gets them. Maybe Raven will join us from time to time on them. But I also want to say I still want to do the one night. I want to review the one night only November and December. Still got to get to those. But that's it for the HeelCast this week. Make sure you check out Andre Corbeil, great listener of the HeelCast and good friend of ours. Check out Chef. You can check him out on Twitter, TNA Mafia Chef, and he is on the HeelCast full time now. So we'll get him more often on a show. But we will see you guys next week. Race for the Case. We'll be discussing that. And all right, signing off. Goodbye, HeelCast Nation.